Jace, your margarita. It's here. Wait, aren't you supposed to be back at the show working out sometime?
Every day.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. Every day. We do it our own way. Sing it out every day. Yeah, let's make it a good day. Every day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Now, here's Jason.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Oh, it is good to be back. Hello, everybody. Since I saw you last time, let me just get this all out of the way. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Boxing Day. There we go. I've been gone that long. That's how long I've been gone. But hey, it's good to be back. I want to say, I'll say it again in just a few minutes, but I want to start off the show before we get too far into this. Whenever I go, and I know people have, they're like, you've been gone for a long time. Whenever I'm gone, I take two big breaks, summer and winter. And whenever I leave, I always say this upon my return, and it's always true, but now it's truer than ever. It's really, really hard to step into a show and fill in for somebody and do it well. Well, I just want to say congratulations, thank you, I love you. They're the best to Fallon and Pierre for filling in last week. There we go. I walked in today thinking, I hope I'm still on the publicity photos. I just, yeah. Have they taken my picture down in the lobby yet? Anyway, they worked on it. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. I'll check when this show's done and then see. Speaking of Fallon, say hello to Fallon, everybody. I was worried I'd forget how to do this.
It's like riding a bike.
Right?
It's good.
I know. I said this morning on the radio show, I've been gone, you know, I do 3 weeks in the winter and then I do 2 weeks in the summer. I came back and I thought, God, I hope I remember how to do all this. And it's like riding a bike.
It is.
It's like riding a bike.
Well, thank you for the kind words. It's nice to have
I mean it, love.
Well, thank you. It's nice to have a live studio audience back. Aaron.
Yeah.
Back. So nice.
They're great.
They are.
It's
so.
Yeah. You guys, I'm not kidding. Just because. And I texted something to Fallon, and it's the truth. Just because you're really good at one medium, and that's, you know, Fallon has a gigantically successful radio show on KDWB. And Fallon, I respect people in a variety of categories. Professionally, I respect broadcasters. Broadcasters, not I respect broadcasters. This woman is a broadcaster, and you can be really great on radio, but that doesn't always translate to television because it's two separate parts of your brain. You're really, really damn good at both.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Obviously, Jeff and Bjorn did everything for that show last week. I just showed up and I'm like, oh, God.
Hell, they do everything when I'm here, for heaven's sake. Yeah.
I wasn't even allowed. This was the biggest, like, controversy of all time. I could not read the teleprompter. And no one could, like, no one could comprehend it. And I get it. It's so weird. I'm not a full-time employee here. None of us really understand the rules. You probably don't understand half the rules at your workplace, but I am not legally allowed to read the teleprompter, but it was mind-boggling for people last week. I was like, I don't know, I can't explain it.
I stayed off social media mainly on vacation because I want to drink my pina coladas in peace. But I did hop on every so often, and occasionally I would see, one woman, Susie, God, you're gone a long time. And then, so it either be that, it would either be Susie, it would either be that, or I would read, why can't Fallon read the teleprompter?
with our education in Indiana, I had to overtly say I can read. I'd like to be very clear. I do know how to read.
Yeah.
I just am not legally allowed.
It's a weird, because she's not a full-time Fox employee, and if I start explaining it to you, you'll need ibuprofen. Yeah. Hey, before we get into Hot Dish, we're coming back with some great news. You know, when we started this show, we were a local show. We just wanted to do well here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and we did right off the bat. I'll forever be grateful. But as the years go on, the show grows and becomes more national. Now we're across the country, and we found out right before we went to our winter break, we're adding yet another giant city. Starting Monday, January 20th, the Jason Show will now be in Austin, Texas. So there we go. Hello, Austin. At 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. on our sister station, Fox 7. It's a hugely successful station. We're thrilled to be there, Austin. We can't wait for you to get to know us and our wacky family. So thank you for your support. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the Hot Dish. Roll it, Leo. Let's do this. Woo! First, look, of course, and Fallon and Pierre did a great job last week with this. We do pop culture here, but of course, we have to begin again with the latest on the just awful, devastating, disastrous wildfires in LA. The fires continue. The entertainment world is still on pause. First Oscar nominations are delayed once again. Here's the headline right there from Variety. They will now be announced on January 23rd. They extended the voting period, which is good. Next, Beyonce is delaying. She had a big old announcement, everybody. Now, that's been delayed, whatever that announcement is. This comes as she donated $2.5 million to the LA Fire Relief Fund. It's very nice. It's really nice. And more TV shows are being pushed back. Meghan Markle's new Netflix show was supposed to premiere this week, but is now delayed until March 4th. And I think that thing is called Cooking,
With Love.
With Love, Meghan. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll watch it.
So it's on pause, forever. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
March, yeah.
Yeah. But look, I don't like people her and Harry, why are people going after them? They're just trying to do good. You complain about them when they're not being annoying. You complain about them when they're being annoying. Now they're just trying to help people. Stop it. Anyway, Jimmy Kimmel returned to his show Monday night after canceling tapings last week because, hello, Jimmy's show is in the heart of LA. It's right there on Hollywood Boulevard. And he got real emotional in his monologue. Let's look a little bit of this.
It has been a very scary, very stressful, very strange week here in LA, where we work, where we live, where our kids go to school. We are back in our studio, which we had to evacuate on Wednesday. That's our building right there, the El Capitan. That is how close this fire was to our theater here. Many of us had to leave our homes in a hurry. Some of our coworkers lost their homes. That's Hollywood. It's been terrible. It's been a terrible. Everyone who lives in this city knows someone, most of us, multiple people, families, friends, colleagues, neighbors whose houses burned down. I think I speak for all of us when I say it has been a sickening, shocking, awful experience, but has also been, in a lot of ways, a beautiful experience because once again, we see our fellow men and women coming together to support each other. People who lost their own homes were out volunteering in parking lots, helping others who lost theirs. And
Jimmy opened up a donation center in the back lot of his show. Jimmy's first guest was LA native Snoop Dogg, and he talked about the work that he's been doing the past week.
I got a lot of people that's out there on the ground that's making things happen. I'm pushing buttons, making things happen, and you know, making sure that the right people are getting the things that they need to get. Because a lot of times when we put these, you know, donations together, certain people don't get it. So we need to make sure that everybody who needs this gets this. So what my team does is we go on the ground and we make sure that we make a direct connect with those people to make sure that we're not missing anybody.
I like to imagine you donating clothes from your personal collection and someone opening the box and going to work in that.
Well, I tell you, he gonna be the sharpest on the job that day.
Absolutely. Hey, you know, just a little personal note. I haven't had a chance to say this. As I said, I stayed off social media. If you follow me on Instagram, what you notice, I didn't post a lot. A, I wanted to be in the moment. B, I was telling Fallon, it just seemed inappropriate for me to be like, hey, I'm in Hawaii. While you know, across the ocean, California was burning. And on that note, I just want to say, a lot of you know this. My best friend, Haley, hey Haley, she used to be on our show. She works at our sister station in LA. And I want to say, Haley had to be evacuated from her home, like so many. She's back home, safe, right now, out of danger. But I bring her up because I just want to give a salute in an era where, and I get it, we deserve criticism sometime, where people like to criticize the media. I want to say a big congratulations, or just God bless you, to the local crews in LA. These people like Haley are working 18, 20 hours to make sure that the local residents get important information, and they're doing amazing work. It's not easy, and I just want to say we're thinking of you, and keep doing the good work that you were put there to do. So thank you very much. Absolutely. And I love you, Hale. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment. That skirt looks great.
I wore it last week.
Welcome back. I saw Colt was on. I got to ask you about that.
I know, yeah.
Welcome back. Oh, it's good to be back. More just free now. David Schwimmer stopped by The Late Show Monday night and shared a story that still haunts him to this day. It's about being asked to host Saturday Night Live way back in '95. Watch this.
Friends at that time was shooting on Tuesday nights. And we were shooting till sometimes 1 in the morning. And so I had to fly from LA to New York on Wednesday to get there. And it took 6-hour flight, 3-hour time difference. And I really didn't get to arrive at SNL until Thursday, 2 days before the Saturday show. And when I walked into the writer's room, like the entire writing staff looked at me as if I had just slept with their mom or something, right? It wasn't until years later that I was talking to someone else who hosted the show, and they said, no, you're supposed to show up on a Monday.
So no one even told you that you would up?
No one told me, and I was invited to the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live, which is coming up in February, and
As one of the previous hosts or something?
yeah, I guess, and it's been 30 years, and I'm thinking, well, maybe they forgot that, maybe, you know.
They forgave you, more like it. Colbert joked that he worked at SNL and hasn't been invited to the 50th anniversary party.
Oh, man.
David said Steven could be his +1. Now, during the interview, Schwimmer talked about jobs that he had before he got famous, and one, this is great, one, he was a process server for his mom. His mom was a divorce lawyer. Listen to this.
I was the guy who
would pop out of the bushes?
Who would pop out of the bushes and serve you divorce papers. So, and at the time, I was 18. I was like, I'm like James Bond. I'm not James Bond. I mean, because you get a tip, you're tipped off as to where they might be, right? And once, oh man, thank goodness I've never run into him since. But I served Rod Stewart. I don't even know if he knows. I don't think he knows.
He knows now.
He knows now.
He knows now. Can you imagine?
No, I always joke that my husband had the most odd jobs ever throughout his life. It's the funniest, but he was someone who served papers for a long time. And he said that you are allowed to refuse to do it. Like if you show up somewhere and you're like, this is where I'll be shot. I'm not serving, I'm not gonna serve papers here and risk my life. You are allowed to be like, nope, and he said he definitely turned around and left a few times.
You got freaked out a couple times?
He was scared, yeah.
I can can see Jake do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I would not want that. I don't like confrontation. Well, sometimes, but I don't like normally. Yeah.
Right.
David joked. I should say David stars currently in Goosebumps: The Vanishing, and you can watch that on Disney+. Well, from one friend star to another, Lisa Kudrow says she's been closer than ever to returning to one of her, I would say, her most iconic movie role. Which one? Boop, this one.
Wow, so you did it? You're an anchor woman?
No, I'm a weather girl on the highest rated 5 o'clock news in Tucson. So, Michelle, what are you up to?
Okay, I invented Post-its.
You're kidding. You must have made a fortune.
Well, yeah.
That's Lisa in the 90s cult hit, Romy and Michele's high school reunion.
Oh, so good.
God, look at this. I could watch this all day. Is that Alan Cumming, Jeff?
Yes,
That's Alan.
yes.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, listen to this. Lisa was on Drew Barrymore last week. Drew happens to be a mega fan of Romy and Michele, and she ended up getting a little dish about a sequel? Watch.
I kept asking her, I was like, so what's happening with Romy and Michele and the second film and a sequel? Because we've talked about it here on the news. Every little tidbit and morsel we get, we scream from the rooftops because I mean, there's nothing I could ever imagine that I would want more. How's it going?
I mean, she said it perfectly. We're as close as we have ever been. There's a script that's really good. Robin Schwimmer.
There's a script. There's a script. There's a script. I know. Do you like it? Do you like the movie?
I love the movie, but I worry, you know, when they do it so far, I don't know.
Because what would it be now? Like a 40th reunion or 30? You know, I'm at my 30th.
I don't know.
And what? It's one of those things where you really risk ruining the original movie. You know, and the original is so perfect and so of its time. Why do you need? There better be a really good reason to revisit.
I also feel like they always say, but there is a really good script, and then we see it, we're like, why did you think that was a really good script?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like a lot of the sequels that we see, we're like, that was not a good script.
No,
why
not
did
at
you do
all.
that? Money?
Next up, it's a show that's been part of our lives for nearly 30 years, but Sex and the City star Kristin Davis is sharing new things. Actually, we don't know, new details about the show. She's rewatching, this is what it's all about. She's rewatching Sex and the City for her new podcast called Are You a Charlotte? The first episode dropped on Monday, and Kristin revealed something rather shocking about what happened after filming the pilot. Listen.
One day I'm in my trailer, and she comes to my trailer, and she knocks on my door, and I open it, and yes. And she says, oh, we have this paperwork we need you to fill out. And I was like, oh, okay. I take the paperwork, and I look at it, and it seems to be like a new contract, but it's only 2 pages long. And I'm like, what is this? And it says, like, you know, you will be a recurring character, and you will be paid $5,000. And I was like, what?
Like total?
Total. No, 5,000. Well, total, but per episode.
Oh.
Nothing. Not even a 95 for a recurring character on an HBO show. HBO has money. You know what I mean?
No kidding.
They have money. That's ridiculous.
That is crazy. Obviously, she didn't take it.
No, she didn't sign the new deal. She said she was confident Charlotte would become a main cast member. She also said there's rumors that she was first cast as Carrie. No, she read for the part of Carrie, but she realized she didn't like Carrie, like a lot of you. She was better as Charlotte, and she is. I can't.
No, I can't imagine. I've recently, because now it's on Netflix, I've started just like having it on in the background a little bit, and it's so bizarre. I forget how the first season, like how Carrie would actually look at the camera and talk to it.
Yes.
Or they would like interview random people on the street, like to talk. It was very bizarre, and then they changed kind of the format. Yeah.
Well, and also, I didn't read a lot while I was gone, but I did read a little dish about season 3 of And Just Like That. You know, Carrie would do the monologue. You would hear Carrie's inner monologue. that's coming back. They didn't have it in the first 2 seasons of And Just Like That. The Carrie's inner monologue is coming back. And Sarah Jessica said there are a lot of new lovers. Lovers for season 3.
Okay, exciting.
Lovers. I don't know if I like that word.
Well,
lovers.
I love it.
Do you like that word, Aaron? Lovers. It is juicy. Yeah, it is.
I used it at the airport once to describe Jake, and it made the guy, I was like reporting, you know, you have to report tax, so you buy something fancy, and he was trying to help me get like a tax write-off situation, but I didn't know, and he was like, do you have anyone with you? And I said, my lover, and he was like, okay, well, and he didn't know what to do, and he was—
I don't think that's on a W-4.
No, and then he was like, okay, well, I was just trying to help you because if it's this much, you can split it between 2 if you're married. I was like, oh, well, we are married, and he's like, okay, because you called him your lover, and I was like, well, he is both.
You're both, but for tax information,
Jake was like,
it doesn't go single, married, lover. Yeah.
Jake was like, when we're in an office with officials, maybe just be serious for 10 seconds. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Let's talk movies. Next up in the dish, we all know Star Wars took place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Well, now Star Wars fans should get ready to go even further back, like a long time ago. The director of an upcoming prequel movie says he plans to set his movie 25,000 years before any other Star Wars movie. Dude's name is James Mangold. He says the original movies inspired him as a teenager, but, and this is the reason, and he's so right, because hello, I'm a nerd and I'm a fan, but Star Wars fans can be awful. So because of that, he doesn't want the new movie to be handcuffed by the world everyone knows so well. Setting the movie that far back will allow him to create whatever he wants to. We don't know a title, but it will look at the origins of Jedi. I have railed about this on the show before. The reason he's so smart about this is Star Wars fans are so hard to please because if you do one thing that people don't like, they'll rip you to shreds on the internet. Well, that's not really Jar Jar Binks' house. You know what I mean?
It's such a specific example.
Thank you, studio audience, for laughing at that one. Yeah, I tried. But you know what I mean? If they do one thing people don't like, they're like, no.
Well, because they have like people who actually document this stuff, so they know, like they have
There's
the
a whole
full.
department.
Yeah, there is. So I mean, like there's no. It's smart for him too because he doesn't have to think about it. Then he doesn't have to be like, how does this fit in, or how am I going to work this? Nope, clean slate. Very nice.
I saw, and I'll tell you stories as I think of them throughout the week. You know, I always come back with a treasure trove of stories. I got to tell you, I like kids on a case-by-case basis, but I saw there was a little boy walking around Disney World dressed as Baby Yoda, and I swear I looked and I'm like, now why? I'll take that kid, like that one I'll take. Like
you can't. No,
I didn't take him, but I'm like,
that kid,
I know,
Jason.
but I thought about it. I'm like, oh, now that's a kid I'd like.
Yeah.
You know, his parents put him in little ears, and it was so cute.
That is cute.
And then the next 5 minutes later, I saw a screaming kid, and it brought me back to reality. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Hey, speaking of that, coming up in just a little bit, this. We'll be back in a moment. Coming up in just a little bit.
How do the people who make Vaseline make any money?
He is the opener for Stephen Colbert. He is an amazing comedian, and he's one of the nicest guys I know. My buddy Paul Mecurio is back to tell you all about his incredible one-man show. Then, a little recap of my time off, including why I learned once again it's tough getting old, even on vacation. That and more when we return.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way.
Welcome back.
Yeah, let's make it.
Welcome back. What a great person to come back to for the first show back. I'm excited to talk to our guest today. You've seen him in specials on Comedy Central, HBO, The Tonight Show. Paul Mecurio is an Emmy winner, and he should be an Emmy winner, for his work on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, where he currently works as a recurring performer. He's the opener. He's everything. Take a look.
How do the people who make Vaseline make any money? I have had the same tub of Vaseline, right? Right? The guy with the glasses, am I right? My Vaseline was handed down to me by my grandfather in a will. You've never heard this phrase uttered in the history of mankind. Honey, I'm going out to get more Vaseline. You could go through 50,000 bags of garbage. You're not going to find one empty container of Vaseline.
Paul's right. Paul's been taking his award-winning Broadway comedy show around the country, and guys, it's fantastic. And this weekend, he'll be performing in one of the Jason Show cities, my beloved Orlando. Audience, give it up for the great Paul Mecurio, everybody. There he is. There he is. Hi, buddy.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Oh, look, there's your Wait, Paul, is that a fresh container of Vaseline?
No, this one is from 1932. This was my great-great-grandfather's who passed it along. Listen, I need it. My lips, they're huge. I know, they're huge. I can all see you looking at them. When I was 8, my lips were the same size as they are now, okay? I could whisper in my own ear, okay? It was not fun, all right?
I'll just say, and this sounds perverted, I can back him up. I've seen Paul's lips in person. They're moisturized. They're moisturized.
Whenever I talk to Jason, it's like, hey, Jason, up here, up here. It's one of those, you know?
My face is up here, Jace.
The eyes, go to the eyes.
That's right. We're obviously going to get to the show, but I want to start with this. I want to thank you, buddy. I saw Paul several weeks ago. Paul, as I said, is the opener for Steven and was nice enough to invite me and Colin and my gal pal Lisa. There we are on the set of The Late Show. And I got to tell you, Paul, I want to compliment you. You're so damn good at that job because, you know, it's trying to keep the energy of what's your capacity, Paul, there?
It's 450 people in a two-tier huge dome theater. There's like it's a big space. It's a big space.
Paul's job is to get them warmed up and keep their energy up for, well, someday the taping days can be long, for hours. Yeah. And you do such a good job. Do you still have fun with it, my friend?
I drink most of the time before I do it, and so I'm having a great time. I use vodka. It doesn't smell. By the way, that picture, I don't know if you could pull it back up, but if you set that picture and Jason is sitting at the desk there, he's actually not wearing any pants, which I thought was weird. I said, you really should not be going commando on Steven's chair, but that's what he did.
That's what I did.
Jason.
But at least I asked, Paul. I asked, could I go commando in Steven's chair? Yeah.
You know what? I was happy to do it. I'm so glad you had a good time. But I got to tell you, folks, like during the taping, we're normally pretty like an hour through, but we had to keep what they call breaking because there was a guy in the audience yelling, oh, Steven, it's Steven. And it turned out to be Jason going crazy. Steven, look at me, look at me. And then the whole like calling, he was sleeping in his bushes a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. It's gotten out of control.
Paul, I'm not kidding. We ran the clip. I almost texted you. We ran it here on the show. You got to go back and look at the monologue from that show. I actually did do that. Steven looked at me. I'm to the right of Steven, and he made a Wisconsin reference. And Paul, I went like this. Whoa! Like that. And Steven looked at me like, are you insane? And he pointed me out. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm embarrassing Paul.
Right. We have a post-mortem after every show. I almost got fired because of you, because the first thing was, who is the freak going about Wisconsin? I've never seen. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who they are. I was like one of these.
Don't claim me. Hey,
no.
How were the holidays, my friend?
Oh, my God. They were exhausting. I had to go home to Rhode Island. And first of all, can we have a rule? If you make a food and people like the food, stop trying to improve on the food. My mother makes an apple pie. Amazing. So what does she do? Oh, I'm going to try to make it better. You don't need to make it better. It's fine the way it is. She put raisins in the apple pie. Raisins? Yes. Yes. You do not, you don't, listen, here's the rule. Anybody watching, you don't put raisins in a muffin, in a scone. You don't put them in a cookie. You know where you put them? You put them in the toilet. That's where you put them, okay? Because, can we be honest? What's a raisin? A raisin is just a grape that couldn't cut it as a grape. What? I didn't like you as a pretty grape. I'm going to like you as a wrinkly brown raisin. And then they put them in that little box with that girl on the outside. You think, oh, there's something good in here. You look inside. It's an old age home for fruit. That's all it is. Wrinkly and brown. Oh, my God. She ruined it.
Oh, Paul, I'm not, my friend. I'm not joking. I've gone off on it on the show. I couldn't agree with you more. Don't put them in a cookie. Oatmeal raisin cookies are horrible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Someone said they're healthy for you. Okay, well, then I'd rather die of a heart attack. Give me a chocolate chip cookie. Just give me a chocolate chip cookie, okay? I'd rather die of a heart. And then my mother's so cheap. Like, she tries to pass. She's like 97. She won't spend money. She grew up in the Depression. So she tries to pass off, like, gifts like they're good, high-end, like, designer stuff. So, like, she tried to pretend, like, she gave me, like, a fake Ralph Lauren polo sweater, and I knew it was fake. Like, if you look at it from afar, it looks fine, but when you look closer, instead of, like, a guy on a horse with a mallet, it was a little person on a Great Dane with a broom. It was not the same thing at all.
Well, on that note, when we come back, why you have to go to Paul's show when it comes to a city near you when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. More now with Paul Mecurio, and we got a clip. Again, you got to see the show. It's called Permission to Speak, where Paul invites audience members on stage, and he does this at the Late Show. And this isn't easy to do. And he asks them about their lives, and Paul goes off from there. Look at this.
How did you meet your husband?
We were in the same homeroom in high school.
That's how I met my wife, in high school.
Yeah.
And you saw him, you thought he was cute?
No, we hated each other at first.
Why?
No, it's just,
yeah.
Yeah, it grows on you.
Yeah.
In fact, as he was really dating my best friend, and then they broke up, and I was there, and he took me home. And that was it.
Oh, Paul, I kind of set it up there in one little sentence, but expand on it, my friend. And I really mean it. I'm not just complimenting you because I love you, but that's a skill, man. That's a skill to be able. It's more than improv. It's being able to really. It's listening. It's listening to what someone has to say and turning it into something. And my God, are you good at it? Can you expand on what the show really is?
Sorry, what were you saying? I wasn't listening. Come on, I had to. Come on. It was right there like a softball over the plate.
I know.
No, it really is that. I mean, you're a great interviewer. By the way, I love the new set. I don't know how new it is, but I haven't been on that set yet. You look like Mr. Big Time National. Oh. You're looking good.
Thank you, buddy.
I like it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I saw a rip in one of the sofas, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. Nobody will notice. So it came out of, I just love talking to people in my stand-up show, and it was born out of that. And the premise of the show is we're nameless and faceless and disconnected and divisive, but if we get together and share stories and have some laughs and relax a little bit, we realize we have more in common than we think, and maybe we don't have to be so divisive. And so we're having a lot of fun with it. And I just get these stories from people. And by the way, it's directed by Frank Oz, who created The Muppets. He's the original Yoda. Try being directed by Yoda. He's never wrong. It is so annoying. And the whole backwards talking thing never stops. Never. You go out to dinner with him, it's like, steak I will have. I get it, Frank. You're Yoda. Oh my God, you're killing me. And so we get these stories, and that was Lee. That was actually in Orlando at the Dr. Phillips Center, where I'm going to be this Saturday. And she was like the star of the night because she was so. My favorite part of that was when she goes, ooh, like with her hands, And I related to it because, like I said, I met my wife in high school. She's right over here, Carol. Carol, come say hi. And we did. We dated. We met in high school. This is my wife, Carol, right here.
Hi.
How are you? She wore her best homeless sweatshirt for the show. So. And we met. We were in high school, right? You were a senior. I was a senior. You were a junior.
Oh.
On a ski trip. Yeah. And we dated 15 years before we got married. Yeah. She proposed finally. I can't tell you her exact words because I get really emotional, but they ended with, or get off the pot. And
I gotta ask you before we run out of time. I know what it's like when you have a good well, like you. I feel this way when you're on. You have a good guest and you're just clicking and you're on fire. Or like today, you have a great studio audience and they're vibing with you. Do you get a piece of electricity shooting in your body when you have someone like that 95-year-old that you know you can run with, that you can jump on that horse on your mom's sweater and run with it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And you're one of the few people that knows that feeling. It's really hard to describe to somebody. It's kind of, I call it like being in the zone. Like when she started, she came up and I could tell from the get-go, and you can tell too, like they're going to be great. And then it just takes care of itself. And I find that people embrace it. They don't. I get asked, like, do they clam up? It's the opposite, because I think people want to have a voice and they want to be heard, and that's their opportunity. And she was so cute. She meant this as a compliment. She went, "Oh, you're so nice. You're so funny. I've never heard of you before." And I'm like, "Well, that's a big help. Thanks a lot." And so I have a trap door, and she went right through the trap door into a pit of alligators. So yes, there's that definite. You know when you've got that electricity happening, and the people have been wonderful, and it's been really great. And the Dr. Phillips Center, if you're living near Orlando, is a beautiful, beautiful venue. And I do the show topless, so that's another incentive.
Hey,
I'll be shaving. I'll be shaving that. There you go.
Well, if you missed it right there, hey Orlando, you know I love you. Here's another reason to go Orlando. He has a show coming up. They're this Saturday, January 18th at the Phillips Center. For more info on tickets, head to paulmecurio.com. Paul, I love you, buddy. Thank you.
I love you. I'll see you soon.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, everybody.
Paul Mecurio. We're going to take a break. Some stories from my time off when we return. Back in a moment.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Yeah, let's make it a good day.
Audience, let me tell you, have you heard what we were saying when we come back from break? Right before we come back, I haven't even started talking about my vacation. This is Fallon. Oh, yawning. Give me a moment.
I'm so tired.
Welcome back. I'm rested and relaxed after a few weeks off over the holidays and New Year, and obviously Fallon needs to rest a little bit. I wanted to share a few things from my trip. I'll share more tomorrow. I have a best thing ever tomorrow. Well, I have one actually today, but I have a great one tomorrow that I can't wait to tell you about. But first, I did a cruise, and then, because we were out of Florida, I did Disney for a few days, and then we went back to my beloved Hawaii. I'll talk about Hawaii tomorrow, but right now I want to talk about, we went on Celebrity again. If you are a cruiser, this is Royal Caribbean's more adult line, I guess you would say. This is the Celebrity Apex.
Jeez.
And this boat, I call it a boat, but this ship, I've sailed on this one before. And now I want to say this is the best thing ever. This is the Sunset Bar. And you remember me mentioning her last year? This is my bartender friend, Sasha. Now she's going to realize I'm right here. There she is. And I got to tell you, friends, this woman right here, and Leo, come back to me real quick. I like to do this because these people don't get it. They don't have a show. They don't get to compliment themselves. I got to tell the good folks at Royal Caribbean or any company, it's people like Sasha It's people like Sasha that make people like me return to your company. They're not just employees. I'm not joking here. I could have vetoed this trip. We could have gone on a different ship because I had already been on that one. But I wanted to go back on the hopes that Sasha would be on that ship, and she was. She saw me and I saw her on that first day, and we cried and I hugged her, and she just made my trip. She really did. So if I mentioned this last time and the clip got to the bigwigs at Royal Caribbean and they gave her a plaque, how about giving her a damn raise? Yeah. Give her a raise. Now,
I got to meet Sasha too because Jason FaceTimed me, so I got to meet Sasha. Jason had a couple of drinks from Sasha at that point. But no, yeah, it was awesome.
She's the best.
How long does it take you to get from one end of that boat to the other walking, by the way?
Okay, well I know I'm running out of time. Maybe I might have to save. That leads me to something, but let me give you quickly a best thing ever. Here's a little travel tip. If you, let's say your ship, maybe a lot of you are planning your spring break cruises with your family. Let's say your cruise is out of Fort Lauderdale. It's either Fort Lauderdale or Orlando. But a flight to Miami is cheaper. That's the way it was for us. Take the Tri-Rail. Now, the Tri-Rail is a Florida commuter line. We took this from Miami to Fort Lauderdale. Girl, it was quick. It was easy. It was cheap. It took us about 40 minutes to get from city to city, and it saved us hundreds of dollars.
Oh, okay.
So, again, we took it from the Miami International to Fort Lauderdale. So there's a best thing ever travel tip.
Nice.
Now, getting old sucks. I don't know if you noticed when I came out for the monologue, but I'm walking a little weird because I walk and jog on vacation, and I was walking around the ship, and I got a pinched nerve in my back.
Oh, no.
Which then I was like, ah! And then Colin's like, what is wrong with you, old man? Well, then, so my back was messed up for about a week.
Oh, no.
And then I get to Hawaii, and my knee starts messing up. So I have like a pulled, that band, the C band or the TCL or TLC band, I don't know.
The TLC band, big one,
T-Boz is down there, I don't know. But I messed up some band because I think it's all connected. So my knee was messed up in Hawaii. I felt like a robot that needed to be taken out and decommissioned.
Oh, no.
So I know, it's awful. If you have knee problems or back, you know where I see you. Just know I see you. It was horrible.
We have a new project for Eric. We need new marionette strings for Jason that Jeff will use to get you out here each day. Yeah.
Horrible.
That stinks, though.
It was horrible, and I was just walking like my knee got messed up because I was walking. Anyway.
That's why I don't walk. That's right. That's why I just lay on vacations. I don't move at all. Yeah.
Tomorrow, the one place you should absolutely visit in Hawaii. That's tomorrow, but right now we'll be back after this. Back in a moment.
You're toppling.
Yeah.
Is your back better?
Back is better now. Welcome back. We would love for you to be part of our studio audience. Tickets are free, but bring your sweater, right, lady? Right there, yeah. Head to eventbrite.com and search The Jason Show. Pick a date, join the fun. You're in by 9:30, you're out by 11:15. Back after this. Stay with us. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'll post some more photos. Again, I didn't feel it was appropriate. You and I were talking about that. I didn't want to post a lot while the fires were going on. I'll be posting more photos from my vacation on my social media. Just search for Jason Matheson. So yeah, I have some fun photos.
I'm excited to see them. I did also, just another reminder of why I missed the live audience. Aaron, right before the cameras went on, said, "You better look happy." To the audience, a threat, and I've missed those threats.
I know.
You know, I have really missed those. It's beautiful. Yeah.
We love when Aaron threatens the studio audience. It's great.
You better look happy.
Well, and again, speaking of the studio audience, this poor woman has hypothermia because it's so cold in here, and we do it on purpose. So I gave her a. Oh my God. God,
Oh,
yeah. But we gave her a blanket. So see, we're full service hosts.
Truly,
we give you,
truly.
We just got a new coffee machine up in the office. I'll get you some cocoa too. Yeah, there we go. It's very fancy.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, tomorrow he's a rising food star on social media. Hayden Haas is sharing one of his favorite Midwestern recipes. That's tomorrow. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. It's good to be back. I missed you all. Bye.